There's layers to you, and it's powerful to be a multifaceted human being, right? I'm the same way. It's like I'm mostly in a hoodie, in a t-shirt, in summertime, like flip-flops, shorts, like very casual vibes. And then I can also rock a Tom Ford suit at convention and dress up and be in my kind of like power suit or something like that. So I can rock it either way. And women are typically even more diverse in their appearance. And then, you get like layers there where you're a wife or you're a mother or you're whatever, like all of those roles kind of you show up differently and they're all part of you. And I think that authenticity, that realness comes across when people can see that one day you might do a reel, wake up in the morning and you're not fully like ready for the day, drinking a coffee. And the next time you might be like full makeup, full everything, going out to like a gala and something like that. Like, there's different sides to yourself. Share a win with us that you had since our last call. People on my team are getting sales without me doing anything. This feels like true freedom. Yes, let's go. Isn't that cool, right? It's such a cool feeling. I've shared this so many times with you guys where up until 682, I was responsible for every single sale when we were still doing things offline. And then I got one of my first checks where I looked at the name in the bottom left corner. I didn't know who it was, and I got pissed off. I've come such a long way. And I like message everyone in my team. I'm like, how dare you process a sale and not get me on a three-way call? And they're like, bro, we didn't need you. And I was like, oh, I'm so sad. This day has come. And then I remember telling my mentor, and they're like, you're missing it, dude. Like that's the whole thing. You want that to happen. I'm like, oh, right. It was hilarious. So you're at that point now. You're like, team, come on. I got too much freedom. Can't I do something? I'm just kidding. Where's your current biggest area of struggle inside your business right now? I'm a bit unsure how I want my brand and voice to be like. Yeah, that's fair. You're evolving, right? I think sometimes we don't realize our self-growth and personal growth and evolution as a human is so quick. Like you're accelerating so quick that sometimes our identity and our message and our brand can feel a little bit like mixed because you're just like, I'm already different now than I was a couple months ago when I almost thought I had what I wanted to be like. So it's like just this fast process, right? So we can talk for sure more about that. Question specifically for me this week is I really like speaking videos and everyday life posts instead of those motivational reels. I want to give value, but maybe a bit unsure what my niche is. And also I'm torn between having this professional style where I speak on stage in a blazer and this laid back style where I'm dancing on a beach. Can I be both and still be an authority for people? 100%. 100% you can. It's almost like there's layers to you, and it's powerful to be a multifaceted human being, right? I'm the same way. It's like I'm mostly in a hoodie, in a t-shirt, in summertime, like flip-flops, shorts, like very casual vibes. And then I can also rock a Tom Ford suit at convention and, like dress up and be in my power, kind of like power suit or something like that. So I can rock it either way. And women are typically even more diverse in their appearance. And then, you get like layers there where you're a wife or you're a mother or you're whatever, like not saying you specifically, but in general, and all of those roles kind of you show up differently and they're all part of you. And I think that authenticity, that realness comes across when people can see that one day you might do a reel, wake up in the morning and you're not fully like ready for the day, drinking a coffee. And the next time you might be like full makeup, full everything, going out to like a gala and something like that. Like, there's different sides to yourself. So anyway, you definitely can be both. In terms of the life posts, typically what happens is the value gets extracted from you sharing your point of view from the things that you're living through and going through. And then if you kind of hand it back to the audience who's watching you and putting a little sort of how does this relate to you angle on it instead of like me, and this is my life update and you're just kind of watching this like blog or vlog of me, but you're actually like extracting value from the things that you're going through in your life and experience, and then presenting a question like, have you been through something similar to this, or have you ever thought about this? So by the time they're done absorbing your content, it makes it like a self-reflective thing that's massively valuable. Doesn't have to be any more than that, right? And if your brand is consisting of things that you're interested in, which typically should be 5 to 7 different key topics, that makes a pretty well-rounded brand. So they could be generalized as in like health and wellness or traveling or personal development or, some passion like hiking or music or things that you're interested in like that. And you're kind of rotating through these topics and extracting value from all of them as you live your life. That's super valuable. And then essentially the common theme with all of that is time, money, location, freedom, finding your personal power, your personal fulfillment through everything. And then essentially inviting people into, do you want to experience this for yourself as well? And that's how you kind of get people into your funnel.
Yes.
So if you feel like being a certain version of you, that doesn't mean that you can't be that version because it doesn't uphold this authority figure. Authority is more so being true to yourself than it is about how you look or how you appear, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I like that.
Like if you're true to you and you stand in confidence, this is who I am, all of me, and I have different sides of me. Sometimes I'm in a blazer on stage, sometimes I'm dancing at the beach. So what? That's the same thing as being like in the city, in a hotel, in a condo, in the middle of the chaos of like a downtown vibe, and then on a beach in Bali, living in like some little Airbnb, like waterside place that is completely the opposite of the city. It's like, what, are you not allowed to go to the beach because you were in the city last week? Of course, that's ridiculous. It's the same thing as like how you dress. Or it's like you listening to country music one day and the next day you're listening to hardcore rap.
That's exactly what I do.
But that's what I mean. So is that wrong? Like, are you doing something wrong because you have these sides of you that enjoys certain things in certain times? Of course not. And I think that there's a lot of people out there who will relate to this. You know what I mean? They're like, I feel like I'm unsure of who I am rather than this is who I am and I just have different sides to me. I'm in different moods. There's people now that are promoting like their cycles, right? Women around their cycles and how like these certain days of their cycle, they're interested in these types of things and these, you know what I mean? Like that's all the same thing, except this is like on a personality level and that's like on a ovulation cycle level, but they're all different essentially. So just own it
Yeah.
and talk about that. And I think another really good way to transition this conversation into marketing or into your stories or like your brand messaging is how we have been told as a society to suppress who we are to fit into this mold. When you show up to your job, it's like, don't be like your authentic self, like wear this uniform, be professional, be diplomatic, politically correct, all of these labels. So you walk in, it's like, leave your problems at home. We don't want to hear about your shit. Put a smile on your face, et cetera, right? So we've been conditioned all of these things. So all of a sudden, when you start to create freedom in your life, time, money, location, freedom, the masks start to come off. And that's what you're experiencing right now, where you're like, I don't need this mask. I don't need this mask. And you're like, but wait a second, that means I'm exposed. That means everyone can see me. And this part of me likes to dance at the beach, and this part of me likes to be wearing a blazer on stage. And soon you'll be dancing on stage and no more blazer. I'm just kidding. or you're like, why am I even wearing a blazer? Maybe you don't even want to wear a blazer. You just thought you had to wear it because you're on stage. Who knows? Maybe there's another level of expression in the future. So I think just owning that and giving permission to be themselves is massively valuable because there's not too many people doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I think I've tried to, do a little bit of that in the content already because I've tried
Perfect.
to figure out how to like mix it up, but I really like the way you explained it right now. So thank you.
That's part of what I'm getting at is you don't have to try to mix it up. Just be like, if you happen to have a message to share and you're getting ready with a towel on your head in the bathroom, then just do it then. You don't have to wait until you have your hair blow dried is what I'm getting at. So if
Yeah.
you try to reduce the delay of when the inspiration like comes to you and when you share that time, you reduce it to like right now, that's going to be the closest you get to fully being authentic.
Mm.
Because I'm
Yeah.
sure, my guess is that, I'm not sure, I'll take that back, but my guess is that there are times where you have an idea or something, but it's not right away. It's like tomorrow when you're ready or when you're here or when you've done something like that. And that gap is what you could reduce and that will feel better for you.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows, like, that's the weirdest part around what's happening, I think, globally and collectively with AI getting so much bigger and speeding up, is the humanness is being pulled out of so many areas where it's just about the end result or just about the productivity or just about getting shit done, which is great. And there's a time and place for that. But there's that humanness, that messiness, that imperfect part of ourselves that is being lost so much, where people are feeling like they always have to be put together. Everything's a highlight reel. Everything's got to be the best shit. And people are now, there's typically this swing in the pendulum where, like, for a while there, it was like low quality shit on social media years ago where, like, people didn't even try, like the picture was like, it was a picture of nothing. It was like a waste of everyone's time. And it was so messy and so low quality. So everyone started to swing towards this perfectionism and great lighting and great audio, and everything had to be like bang on. We swung all the way over there. And then since COVID, it started to swing back where it's like, we're all in our shit. We're all going through it. Everything, we all have our challenges, but is there a relatability factor there? So I think like that messiness where you could be put together one day, messy the next day, have a massive win and achieve like a rank advancement in your new highest month, 1 month. And the next month you like go through a breakup or I don't know, just something like very opposite. And like it's hard and it's difficult and it's messy. And then you have another win, right? And then you're like in a rainy city and it sucks and it's depressing. And then you get on a flight and you go to somewhere beautiful and it's paradise. And it's like all these contrasts, I think makes life a lot more believable for all those people considering an online business, right? Because there's like that whole factor is like, so if I join an online business, do I have to be perfect? And then in the moment, they're so far from perfect that they're like, that's just not me. My life is a mess. But if there's this element of like, it's okay if your life is a mess because our life is a fucking mess too. We just have more money and freedom. That's all. You know what I mean? It's like, it's still messy. It's just better. It's just less messy or less shitty, but it's still messy. Like here I am with first world problems trying to move money around to buy this, dream home. Still freaking messy. I'm still stressed out. It's just a different level of that, but it doesn't really ever go away technically. Hopefully that's helpful. Keep crushing it. You're doing an amazing job and you're in an evolutionary period of your life. You're shedding the old, you're stepping into the new, and you get to decide. Like the beautiful thing that a lot of time people miss when they have success, when they have income, when they don't have a job, when they can get on a flight and kind of be a global citizen is all of these questions that you haven't really had time to explore start to become something you can explore. And sometimes it's things like, who am I? And how do I want to show up? And all the day-to-day things in life are no longer as stressful. So it gives you this opportunity to do exactly what you're doing, which is beautiful. You're right on the path that most people go on in this like ascension in the business that you're on right now, which is amazing. So just kind of, it's normal. It's normal for you to ask these questions and to feel the way you're feeling. Just keep kind of listening to where you're at. And you'll notice a lot of feedback from exactly what you're saying. It's like Christy Ord is another great example of someone who spoke on this earlier this year, I think it was, where she was like, sometimes I'm wearing the fancy outfit, hosting events, speaking on stage. And other times I got my kids and my hair's in a bun and I'm wearing Uggs and there's like a boob in the kid's mouth and it's like mom life. And she's like, and so what? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then this is kind of like a mic drop moment. We're like, huh. Yeah, you get to be these different sort of versions of yourself. And it's kind of like instead of wearing a mask, you're wearing a hat. And the hat is like the role, but the mask is more like pretending to be someone you're not. The hat is like, no, this is me. It's just a role that I play in my life. And then you could play a role and you could also be someone who taps into certain things based on your mood. Those are all truthful expressions of your personality. Parts of yourself. And all of those parts make up the whole. So when you reveal all the parts, your audience accepts you as a whole. Make sense? When you reveal only a part of you, there's this weird thing that's like, well, what's the other part of you? But nobody knows. So it's harder to fully connect.